At the beginning of this week, I wrote a complaint to my therapists, which are practically all of the AI bots that you can access for free. So Claude, ChatGPT, Grok, some other thing, I think it was Gemini, right? I wrote a complaint to all of them, and I wrote down everything on my to-do list. I have 2 projects that I need to finish within the next 14 days. I have a lot of problems with the current website that I'm using for my current business. I need to get this done in terms of my recent projects. I have to do 2 YouTube videos by the end of the week. No. And at the end of it, I looked at it and I was just completely overwhelmed. It's not like, and the other problem was for a lot of these things, especially with the religious stuff, right? I have been intending to do this thing for 2 months now. It's just never gotten done. And it's not because I don't want to get it done. It's not because I'm actively saying, oh, let me do something else instead of doing this thing that I know I want to do. It's just there never seems to be the time to be able to actually do this thing. And so by the time I was writing down this complaint, I was completely overwhelmed. I slept for 16 hours on Sunday. Just so tired, and I've been doing nights where I don't sleep. Right now it's 3 a.m. Right, I haven't slept. I'm gonna sleep at after Fajr till 10 o'clock, but that's it. 5 hours of sleep is all I'm gonna get, and then I'm gonna have to pay for that on the weekend, which is probably meaning another Sunday where I'm just out, not getting anywhere with anything. I'm just taking L's completely all the time. And so I was looking for solutions to my predicament, right? I was thinking first I asked all these bots what I should do, and they just started talking a lot, and I read through what Claude said and what maybe ChatGPT said, and then it all became too much to even read, in my state of overwhelm. And I was just thinking, I have no idea what to do. No clue what is the way forward from here. And there are 100,000 videos you could watch about how you take control of your life and how to lock in 2025 and all of this stuff. But in that moment, it was just not coming to me. And I've read all of these books like Deep Work by Cal Newport, and instinctively I know I need to do X, Y, Z, but fitting it in to the current situation that I'm in, right, is just impossible. And it's not like I'm an indisciplined person, okay, to some extent, right, but I get stuff done. I'm not so bad, right, but I'm just unable. Is like there's some invisible wall that's preventing me from doing X that I want to do. And I started thinking about how a lot of the really simple advice that you get when you're a kid and something, all of this stuff, proves to actually be super useful if you would just apply it in your adult life. The problem is, in your adult life, you're just not doing any of these things. I was watching a TV show my baby sister was watching. It's called Daniel Tiger, right? And the tiger on the screen was singing some song use your words to say how you feel. And it's crazy how much me personally in my life and how I've seen with other people in their lives, that is a serious problem that's preventing them from moving forward, just not being able to express and communicate how they're feeling and thinking. Probably something I need to work on in the future. But the advice that came to my mind, right, is in the Quran, Surah Nuh. Nuh, he's complaining to his people, why don't you become Muslim and all this stuff. And he said to them, فَقُلْتُ اسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ إِنَّهُ كَانَ غَفَّارًا. Ask forgiveness of your Lord, because he is most forgiving and most merciful. يُرْسِلَ السَّمَاءَ عَلَيْكُمْ مِدْرَارًا. And then he goes on to say that he will make rivers and rain down upon you, and he will bless you with sons and wealth, and give you rivers and give you fruits and all of this stuff. And because you're doing this one thing, you seek forgiveness from Allah, everything is going to open up for you. And I started to think about it, and the first thing is you have to realize that istaghfiru, right? When you say in English, then you say ask forgiveness, it means that I literally say, hey, yo, I'm sorry, like a literal thing that you're saying. But in the Arabic lexicon, what it actually means is it's a state of being. So you are not asking for forgiveness by saying, you are asking for forgiveness by being a certain way. And the way that you are being when you are asking for forgiveness from Allah is that, one, you are grateful to Allah for what He has done for you. You are seeking His forgiveness, as in you are seeking to undo, to make up for the wrongdoings and the sins and the shortcomings that you have, right, with your actions. And you are seeking also to not go back to doing these shortcomings and wrongdoings that you have previously been doing. That is what it means to be in a state of forgiveness, or be asking for forgiveness when you say فَقُلْتُ اسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ. And then what I got from that is the reason why my matters are not opening up, where it seems there's like this invisible wall in front of me preventing me from doing the things I want to do, is because I was not, hopefully I am now, was not in a state where I was being penitent, where I was trying to overcome my previous wrongdoings and do better. I was in a state where I was trying to crack the wall, being the same way that I was, just doing all of the same things that I was doing in the same manner that I was doing them, and not looking and, assessing like, am I going forward, am I going backwards? And that worked for a while, right? But eventually, when things start to heat up in your life, you're going to hit a wall, and you're not going to be able to get past this wall unless you make a change. So I was thinking about what I need to do to be able to get over these hurdles, but it's really more about, number one, what do I need to get rid of my shortcomings, of my sins, to be able to go forward? You need to have a mindset shift. Stop thinking about what you need to do and think about what you need to sacrifice. So what has and is holding me back are the things that I love doing that I know I shouldn't be doing, the things that I don't want to do that I know that I probably should be doing, and I know it's doing harm that I'm not doing. So for example, there's the wasting time, there's the, I'm not the best communicator, as the 3 people who watch this video might have already come to understand. All of these things, you need to let these stuff go. And it's not to just get rid of them wholesale, because you can't do that, but it's being in a state where you're looking at these things and you are chipping away at them as little as possible, but just continuously chipping and chipping and chipping away at them, so that you can get rid of these shortcomings and start going to where you need to go, and making those sacrifices. And these are the things that are actually shackling you in place and not allowing you to move forward. So if ever you find yourself in a situation where you've hit a wall and you're unable to go anywhere with it, look at these shortcomings and these things that you're doing that you probably shouldn't be doing, and remove them and remove them and remove them. And if you ever find yourself in such a situation again, just repeat the whole process. But the best way to go about it is something I heard from this is a quote from this Turkish ruler who used to live back in the day. It's called Nuruddin Zengi, and he's actually like the mentor of Salahuddin, the guy who freed Palestine the first time, right? And he said, right, he was on his horse, and he was riding with somebody, and he rode forwards and his shadow was behind him, and then he started riding backwards, and he couldn't reach his shadow because his shadow was in front of him, and this was like at sunset, right? And he asked the person who was with him, what do you see from this, what do you get from what you've seen? And the guy was like, what's going on? And he said that if you run away from the dunya, it chases you, right? But if you run towards the dunya, right, you'll never be able to catch it. And this is the root of what I think was being said in terms of فَقُلْتُ اسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ. So adopt an attitude where you're not facing towards the dunya. You're not working to be able to get X thing in this life or whatever, but you're working towards bettering yourself so that you can go for what's more important. That's the end of my TED talk.